Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. This is your future free potato, just another potato, and welcome to another video of Cosmic Frontiers. And in this episode, we will be getting our first circuit assembler. Now, in the previous episode, we've done all of this ethanol line and built our first EBF, the first of many. This ethanol line, I have it disabled for now, because we are not going to be using ethanol for a while now. I should back up a bit of ethanol though. Now that I think of it, I should build a small barrel here in the back just to have some backup. But I'll do that later. In this episode, the plan is going to be get our basic circuit assembler. Now that we have the EBF and we have Manasteel, we can focus on doing this circuit assembler in order to make cheaper circuits. So overall, it's going to be good. It's going to be the best for us now that we are going to enter into MV. But for that, first we need to craft our first good electronic circuit, which is the first tier of the MV tiers electronic circuits. And as you can see, we need 3 basic electronic circuits. So 3 circuits of LV tier in order to craft 1 of MV. Circuit assembler, it is cheaper, but yeah, that's why we want a circuit assembler as soon as possible. So this is going to be the goal for today. Well, this episode, not today. Almost likely take one more day to do all of this. But in order to make the good electronic circuit, we need to get into diodes and phenolic printed circuit boards. And in order to get into the basic circuit assembler, we need to start with Ars Nouveau. It's going to be quite a ride, so let's go for it. So if we look at the quest, for the good electronic circuits, we need 2 new items. Those are the diodes and the phenolic printed circuit boards. The diodes, they need gallium arsenide dust, these small piles. And for gallium arsenide, we need both arsenic dust and gallium. Let's do first arsenic. So for arsenic, first we need some arsenic trioxide. This we only get from putting some cobaltite dust and oxygen into our EBF. So we can disconnect the nitrogen pipes just for a while. And let's save this nitrogen. And I have a bunch of oxygen here, so we can just use this one. And let's input it here. I already have a bunch of cobaltite. But one extra thing is that this recipe, it also yields some sulfur dioxide. I think maybe it would be a good idea to save some of this. So what we are going to do is grab one of these casings and replace it with an LV output hatch. So here all of that thing will come. Now we only need to grab the cobaltite and just throw it here. And after 6 seconds, we should be getting arsenic trioxide dust and sulfur dioxide. So I'll just leave this one run here for a while. Now that's not the only thing we need. Another thing that we are going to take a bit of time crafting is the phenolic circuit boards. This one is very simple, just some glue and wood pulp in circuit number 1 in the assembler. So glue, wood pulp, and circuit number 1. And after some seconds, we should be getting our first phenolic circuit board. Now, I only had enough oxygen to make 50 of arsenic trioxide. I think that's going to be enough for now. So let's grab this. Let's put it here very quick, so we don't die. This cobalt oxide, we can electrolyze this into cobalt and more oxygen. So let's do that. And after all of that, we also got our 64 phenolic circuit boards. That's going to be more than enough for now. Now for gallium arsenide, we also need gallium, which I've been processing a bit. As you can see, 64 plus 24 of gallium. This we get from sphalerite. So we grab the crushed sphalerite, we wash it to get the purified version, and then thermal centrifuge this to get a 33% chance of getting gallium dust. So one last thing that we have to do now is electrolyze this arsenic trioxide dust. And this after 9 seconds. We should be getting 2 pieces of arsenic. There is it. And now if we combine both the arsenic with gallium, after 10 seconds we should be getting our first dust of gallium arsenide. There is it, gallium arsenide. And of course this is also poisonous. Everything is poisonous in this game. And diodes, these are pretty simple. We only need small piles of gallium arsenide with some fine anneal copper wire and liquid glass, and we should be getting our diodes. So we are doing I already forgot. We are doing 24 crafts of these diodes. So I hope I don't die. Let's grab some of this arsenic dust. Let's grab 24 and let's throw it here. And after 20 seconds we should be getting our first diode. There is it, our first diodes. I'm not doing everything, so maybe I'll just batch craft them. Yes, I'll batch craft 48 diodes at a time. In the future, maybe in the near future, we will be able to use liquid polyethylene to double the amount of diodes we get from a craft. So yeah, I'll just batch craft a bunch of them. I suppose we will get through all of them very quick. But yeah, I'll just batch craft them in sets of 48 maybe. Now, in order to make phenolic circuit boards, we could use this craft here that uses silver wires. With this, we would have to use 4 ingots of silver per each phenolic printed circuit board. But it is cheaper if we use iron 3 chloride. We would only have to use 1 ingot of silver per each phenolic circuit board. And that's better, because iron 3 chloride is also nothing really hard to craft. The good thing with this craft is that we can basically reuse the hydrogen that it is required to start everything. So all of this requires 2 chemical reactors. In the first one we are going to be mixing hydrogen with some chlorine gas. This will give us hydrochloric acid. And hydrochloric acid, 3 buckets of it, with 1 iron dust. After 20 seconds, very slowly, we should get iron 3 chloride. Now I do need a bucket of the iron 3 chloride first for the quest. There is it. And now we can put it on an empty cell. That's going to be best. And again, this cycle repeats itself. We will do 8 buckets of iron 3 chloride. For each phenolic printed circuit, we need 100 millibuckets. So essentially, we should have enough iron 3 chloride for 80 phenolic printed circuit boards. That's a lot. So yeah, I'll just patch craft all of this iron 3 chloride. Now, iron 3 chloride and some silver foils and the phenolic circuit boards. If we combine everything, after 15 seconds, we should be getting our first phenolic printed circuit boards. And there is the quest. And also the quest for the diodes. There is it. And now we can craft our first good electronic circuits. Now, these are 9 basic electronic circuits. And with all of these materials, the diodes, and these electronic circuits, we should be getting our first 3 good electronic circuits. Now you may be wondering, why did we do 3 circuits instead of batch crafting a bunch of them? Because we are going to be getting into the basic circuit assembler to get cheaper circuits. So for our first 3 good electronic circuits, we used 3 basic electronic circuits each for each good electronic circuit. If we use the circuit assembler, we only need 2 of the basic electronic circuits in order to make 1 good electronic circuit. And for these basic electronic circuits, we get double the amount of circuit for the same amount of materials that we use. So yeah, at the end it is very cheaper. It is very cheap if we use the circuit assemblers instead of crafting them on crafting tables. So that's why we only craft 3. We need 3. 2 for the basic circuit assembler and 1 for the Archon core. That means that we are getting into Ars Nouveau. Now with all of that, we can start with Ars Nouveau, but first we have a story chapter, The Power of a Mage. Story, 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 and story. Oh, no. Okay, oh, okay, I had to... I thought that this story was just a story and it wasn't implemented yet. Remember, this modpack is still in early development, but just I had to check mark first. Okay, so story. If you don't care about the story of Frontiers, feel free to click the checkmark now. If not, enjoy reading the log. Scroll to the next page. So let's start. Humanity was at the peak of technological prowess. A simple thing for a civilization lasting billions of years. Universe dominance and mastery over the ever-constantly expanding dark energy. Humanity stood tall with bioengineering and dominance over the observable universe. Humanity stood tall with bioengineering and dominance over the observable universe. However, knowledge was no longer accessible to everyone. Knowing the right person could be the difference between living to 1 million or 100. Where you were in the local cluster too, they dictated this. Space travel still took decades, loosely done by allowing ships to pilot themselves with the crew asleep for the ride. Archonic and powerful technology is nearly indistinguishable from magic, and you, a humble resident of Earth Prime, the peak of humanity, broke this rigid balance. I'm very sorry for my reading. I discovered one final elementary particle, the Xeon. A particle so erratic only biological interfaces like the human brain could melt with it. It acts as an ultra-powerful glue between all organic matter within the human body and would enhance the organic baseline of a human tenfold, allowing humans' bodies to modify and manipulate the very fundamentals of the universe, quarks, at their will. The arbiters of Sol Prime were very keen on acquiring this technology, as current genetics work on replacing body parts via organ growth and stem cell replication. I was the first to learn of science and the last, refusing to give my understanding of this immortality unlocking biotech to the arbiters. I was falsely accused of genocide and cast into a mod universe, an unstable microverse loosely based on ours. My memories are sealed and locked away. They are slowly returning as I restore my research capabilities. My resentment will be nothing but immortal hatred. Unlike this scum on the outside, I have eternity. All that needs to last is my will to return. I will get out of here somehow, and I will undo the horrible cycle and take humanity final step forward. Okay, so we are supposed to be some kind of castaways because our research was too powerful. Of course, they had to silence us. But yeah, it seems we don't remember much of our past, especially all of the research and technological journeys that we embarked to get all of this Xeon knowledge. And I suppose while we keep building on our technological knowledge and stuff like that, we just like kind of remember stuff that we forgot, and yeah, and vengeance is everything here. Pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice. I like the idea of being a castaway and having to build our own universe. Very nice plot. I really like it. But anyway, we are ready to enter some arcane magic, arcane technology, and for that we need an arcane core. We need both the arcane core and the women chamber, which are kind of the staple of Ars Nouveau. So here I have all of the materials. We can start by crafting 3 women chambers. I think that's going to be a nice number. We can put it here for now. I'll have all of this decorated, don't worry. But I want this tower to be like kind of the witch tower or something like that, the magic tower. So for now, let's put everything here. We don't need source yet, so there is not really that much importance. And we can start crafting some source gems. Now, we really can't automatize this. We can automatize the input, but if we put a hopper below, it will hop on any item in the inventory. So yeah, it's not something that we can automatize yet. We would require a filter. But with this, we get our first 3 source gems. We are going to use these ones to make some source stone. And with this, we can do our first enchanting apparatus. We need 1 of the good electronic circuits. And this, with 1 source gem and 2 gold rods, we should get our first arcane core. That's the quest. Now for the enchanting apparatus, we also require some arcane pedestals. And with all of this, we should be able to get 4 pedestals, which is what we need. And let's put the enchanting apparatus somewhere here. Here will be fine. So we need the arcane core on the bottom, the enchanting apparatus on the top, and 4 pedestals. That's nice. Now some receipts on the enchanting apparatus, they require source. However, because we are really starting, the first enchanting apparatus receipt that we are going to do, which is the Mage Bloom Seed, it doesn't require any source. That's nice. But we only require 1 more source gem. So we are waiting on that. And of course, I'll have to dedicate 1 full episode for Ars Nouveau, because there are a lot of things that we need to do using this mod. We need to set up some farms. We need to set up proper places for the women chambers and the enchanting apparatus. So yes, it's something that I want to dedicate one episode to it. But with this and 1 seed, any kind of seed will work. We should be getting our first Mage Bloom Seed. That's the Mage Bloom Seed. Now this Mage Bloom Seed, we could plant it like a regular crop. But what we are going to do instead is use our basic flora nurturer that we have here. Everything here is post, so I can only enable the work on this basic flora nurturer. And after this finishes, we can put the Mage Bloom Seed. And after some seconds, this will produce Mage Bloom. I'll just leave this run for maybe 1 minute. We really don't need that much mage bloom. We are just starting. Of course, again, as I said, we will need a proper place for all of Ars Nouveau, and that also means a proper place for the mage bloom. But just to have some of it for now to start with the mod, it is good to have this working. So with 42, mage bloom is just fine. There is it. Now I think I'll put it down here. We have a new machine with us. That's the spooling machine. We can put it right here, for example. And this spooling machine, I really don't know what's the purpose of this, but if we put some mage bloom, after 3 seconds we will be getting the mage bloom fibers. Yeah, this is the only way of getting mage bloom fiber. Now, if we put the Manasteel wires together with the mage bloom fibers, after some seconds we will be getting the covered Manasteel cables. And there is it. 2x Manasteel cables. Now if we put on the assembler some Manasteel cables, Manasteel rods, quartzite, and basic electronic circuits, we should be getting our first LV emitter. There is it. And if we combine all of the things that we made, so an LV arm, 2 LV conveyors, the 2 electronic circuits, the LV emitter, and 2 of these Manasteel cables, we get our first basic circuit assembler. There is it. Now, I want to put it here. So let me grab this. I don't use you. And I'll move this a bit. So the circuit assembler can go here. The polarizer can go here. And the canner can go here on the back. The turbocharger, we can put it here maybe. I don't really use this though. And here is it. We have our first basic circuit assembler. Hyper circuits. Nice. We are very near into entering MV. Now, we got our first circuit assembler. So let's do the first batch of circuits. For all of the circuits in the circuit assembler, at least until what we have now, we will be using soldering alloy. It's going to be better on tin, it's more efficient. So let's do 24 times 248 low voltage circuits. There's it, our first. Oh, 2 voltage circuits. 2 circuits, that's so nice. 2 instead of 1. Now with this 48 basic electronic circuit, half of them we will use it to produce some medium voltage electronic circuits. We are going to get 12 of them from this. I think I'll do a bit more. So 6 more. Maybe a bit more. 9 more. I don't know. We will need a lot of them. Especially to start MV. I've been looking at this through the quest, and it doesn't seem like by the quest, by all the machines that we have here, it really doesn't seem that we need that many HV circuits, but we do need. One of the things that it is not in this quest are the upgraded versions of the assembler, the polarizer, the wire mills, the vendors. I don't think we really need them very urgent, but it is always good to upgrade your basic machines, right? The ones that you use the most. So the vendor, the wire mills, it's always good to upgrade them. So it's a good idea to upgrade them, but we are not going to start there because there's a lot of stuff that MV offers. So yeah, and we need to have a bit more preparation before we enter into MV. One of the things that I noticed is that the MV machine hulls, yes, they require aluminum, but aside from aluminum, the MV machine casings, they require Manasteel. So Manasteel, it is something that we are going to be using a lot. So I have to batch craft a bunch of aluminum, a bunch of Manasteel. I have to see into backlogging some ethanol to start producing a better source of energy. And with all of that, we also need to go into having cheaper electronic circuits. This is also one thing that it is on our list to do, as well as making polyethylene, which is also something that will make us do cheaper stuff. So yeah, there is a lot of things to do. There is a lot of things to do. So that's why before that, I want to do Ars Nouveau things. I want to set up some Ars Nouveau farms that will help us a lot into making some item productions. So everything related to crops and stuff. And I said in the past episodes that all of this I was going to repurpose them, to use them in another way. But I think I'll just delete everything. Yes, everything here will disappear. And here I'll have some Ars Nouveau things, some Ars Nouveau farms. I'll also have to finish at least one floor of the witch towers. The tower here I wanted to build. I at least I want to finish 1 or 2 floors to put everything related to Ars Nouveau there. And yeah, there is a lot to do. But with that, we get 12 good electronic circuits. It is so nice to have this to batchcraft. It feels very good. Look at that. But anyway, this is everything for today. Oh, we are entering MV very soon. But the next episode will be everything about Ars Nouveau. So, as always, if you are still here, thank you for watching. And yes, and I hope you have a better day, because it can always be better. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.